Hey guys, Tuesday, February 25th, 2025. Let's see what the Black Widow wants to do this week. We're very getting close, very close to the change of contract. So I'm going to cover both today just to see where you're at. We're going to fade out this one. So far, inside candle. So we haven't taken out the high of 409 nor the low of 390. So we're smack in the middle. Let's look at our April contract real quick to see where we are in the market profile. So interesting. I just noticed this today. We did find support right here, which is this 487. So this was all support right here, and it's still support. It's the value area high. All this is going to be support. So let's see if let's see what the Black Widow wants to do here. It's in a point where it could retrace up and try to test this 330, 343, 434, or try and then fail and continue going lower. Let's look at our simple glance chart using the February contract, and you can see that we're still in chop fest here. This is our gap right there, which is 414. And it looks like it wants to maybe push higher. You got a midpoint pivot here, 404. The MACD is still negative. The trend is still up. We just hit that high, pulled back. So now the question is it going to go and try to retest the high? Knowing all the things that we know with commitments of traders report, we know the weather is kind of warming up a little bit. There's a lot going on, but could not, may not stop natural gas. It may want to go higher. I know my models are all saying down for this week. And that's just, speculation. Is not the crystal ball, but I'm leaning that route. But we'll see. It's kind of just quiet right now. Let's look at the J contract real quick and see what's there. Yeah, MACD is still negative, and it looks like it may want to try to go higher. That's on the daily. Let's go to let's go here and see what we got going on in regards to the geometry. So this is my SO date. So I had to switch things because we already took out this 113 high with the February 20 high. So I adjusted this to see if there's anything, here. And so far, here's the 1/3 today. And the next one will be the 5th. So I wonder if we're going to do this kind of thing. But I'm not too sure. I want to see if it's going to fill the gap. That's the first thing. Once it fills that gap, then I'm going to see what's going to happen from there. But so far, it is holding the FPF level. And it's holding it twice. So it's there. So it's your midpoint. And we're somewhere fluctuating around here by the 1x1 of the Gann fan. So it's one of those things right here. You could short it once it cracks here. And obviously, you'll have to wait to the change of contract and maybe start working on that. Or maybe it's just a transition point right now. We're waiting for that contract to kick in, and then we'll jump in full gear. And I think maybe that's what I'm going to wait for, just to see if this is going to go and fill this up today. But there it goes. Look, it's starting to move. It's getting some Momo. There's anything else on this, on the geometry chart that's interesting? I got my gap fill already in there. It could get filled today. I don't really think I see swing chart. No, I don't think anything really important here. Let's go into our midpoint chart. So I have both contracts here. I got the April. Actually, here's the April. This is the March. You can see that, and I'm using the 4 hours. So you can see that now we're getting a lift. This is our midpoint for the week, and we're above it, so that's good. And it looks like the mobile is about to go positive. So yeah, so we're going to probably go for filling the gap fill today. Looks like it's getting ready now. We kind of consolidated all here around 2100 hours. The London session kicked in, and now they're going to try to push it higher. So I think that's what we're going to go for. Yep. So targets to the upside, 413, fill gap around 415, and then you're in. Gap is fill, change of contract, and see then if my models are correct, we start going lower. What would void my models is that it kisses 415 and it continues pushing higher, then my models are failing. Then it's gonna try to retest 447, the high. So that's thing here. Looking at the hourly, so far PPS buy signal kicked in around 1 a.m. Our low was around 23. Right at midnight, things got positive. We are above the midpoint on the hourly, 399. You see the mobiles are positive. And let's see, maybe you're above the VWAP, so that's good. You got a 404. That's a 75%. And if it's gonna get to the high here, that's 409, extreme 413, and 418. So this is gap fill area. If it's gonna push higher, 418. But this is the area that I'm looking at for the US session. Once we get there, between now and 8:30, 9:30, then see what's gonna happen here. If it's just gonna kind of go sideways, or then just hardcore, momentum down to the downside or whatever, whatever's going to play out. And then keep in mind, change of contract. The line in the sand here is 399. Now with the April contract, you're above your midpoint. So since the models are indicating lower this week, we need to crack and close below 395 for a good short. And targets to the upside will be 414. That's your 75%, and that is the gap close. Anything higher, then if it wants to go higher, your next target will be 434. And I think 434 is the high, right? I believe so. Yep, that's our high on the April contract. So if it pushes higher than that, then it's going for the is probably going to try to get liquidity here in the US session before it turns, if it's going to follow my model. If not, if it's going to continue going higher, then we have the Elliott wave theory that is going to be much higher targets. And here's a target for if it wants to really push higher, 454 all the way to 474. You can see the mobiles are now looking positive. So yeah, definitely if you trying to scalp a little something here, it looks like it's probably going to go higher towards the US session. And on the hourly, we've been positive since the US session of yesterday. And we're above the zero line, so that looks good. We're above the midpoint, which is 397. If you wanted to go long and put a stop below there, that's good. I mean, you never know. I could probably try to go there and then maybe bounce. But either way, target to the upside, you're already at the 75, which is 402. The next one will be 407. And then extreme will be 412 all the way to 417 for today. Lastly, this is the square of 9. Gap fill will be between 414 right here and 409, this area right here. So it's going to push higher, 421 to 431. Extreme 441. But let's see if we just get to fill the gap fill first. And if we were to fill the gap fill at 414 and then crack below 411, which is the 0 degree, and then high probability 406 then to 401 all the way to 391. I think this is where we found support. to try to fill this gap. Yeah, between 391 around there in this area right here. If we correct the 90 degree 391, then my models could be playing out where we'll go to 381 all the way to 371 and continue pushing lower. I'm going to sign out. Hope you like this video, and I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on that, guys.